Yeah, something like that. Oh, do I have my... Oh, my volume's all wonky. Hello?
Of course.
That's how it always goes. All right, let me give you a bit more juice.
Please.
There we go. Good stuff.
Give me all the juice. I forgot I need music for these things.
Oh, you do? Oh, I do.
I mean, right. I'm just trying to blend in here, man.
Lo-fi girl, please.
Literally what I googled. Please, chilled cow, save me.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I don't know how to... like, all this time I've been online, I'm still unsure of how to stream properly.
Yeah, I just learned how people do sped up TikToks.
You just did?
Yeah,
Oh, like they record in slow motion, or?
Yeah, and I was like, I thought that's how they did it, but I was like, there's no way you sit here for like a solid 3 minutes trying to like get that one clip. But apparently they do.
Man. Apparently they do.
Apparently they do.
TikTok people, they will do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like they will. We were talking about that. I was talking about Bob and Wade about how some people like, oh, TikTok sucks. I hate TikTok. And I'm like, say what you will about like the privacy stuff, but some of that shit is very funny. If you train your algorithm right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was a huge detractor of TikTok at the beginning. Everyone watching can attest to that. I was like, no, it's better over here. Vine was cooler. And now I'm full on addicted to it. I like videos just so I have an excuse to make videos out of that to react to, just so I'm not wasting my time.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a good thing.
Otherwise, it just rots my brain.
Although recently all my TikTok videos have just been Elden Ring, like farming strategies or goofs.
Your best builds? Dude, Distortion has that game down to 12 minutes now.
We just watched it last night. Amy and I, we were watching that speedrun. I never even heard of the zip, and I'm like, what the zip?
Oh, let me tell you about the zip. People don't know why it happens. People don't know what the zip is about. But for some reason, you need a metronome.
I know, that's what threw me off so much. I didn't know what the tapping was. I'm like, oh my god, he has a metronome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They didn't know what it was, and they still don't know. Originally he was like changing his resolution down to like below 720. And then they thought that would happen, but it's like hardware specific.
It's hardware? Wow.
So a lot of people can't do it, so... Also, they couldn't even use the in-game clock because your hardware speeds up and slows down the clock based on how many frames you're losing. So they had to like mod in an in-game clock.
Right. That's weird. That's super weird. But when he got it, I didn't understand what happened. Like when he first launched forward 1 million. But how was he in the end of that video when he zoomed out and was like, not far enough? I'm like, how do you know? It's just all darkness and shadows.
Yeah. He used to break the Elden Beast at the end of it, where he would go in and then summon the imps, and that would break the AI of it. And now he's just figured out a way of completely skipping all of that. He's just in the middle of the Godfrey fight, and then the game's over.
Yeah, because I can understand how the zip was, like, obtained. You know, the sword and the stone style, pull it out, you're worthy. But what I don't understand is how the mega zip was discovered. Like, how can he just be like, oh man, I was too early on the mega zip part of the mega zip?
I don't know.
How do you do? What? How? It's gonna be crazy.
I've been following it from the very beginning. I watched him stream it when he was playing it for his first time through. This will tell you how annoying the FromSoft audience is. Distortion, the guy who finished the game in 12 minutes and had the record for Bloodborne, people kept calling him trash when he was playing Elden Ring. For the first time.
What?
He would use the mimic and everyone was like, man, you're fucking trash. What's wrong with you? I'm like, he has the world record on these games. Chill out.
Dude, don't shit on the mimic. The mimic is the only way that I get through some bosses.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Dude, even after the nerf, the mimic was just like all I cared about.
Mimic's great.
Black Knife Tish, whatever.
Dude,
get me.
Don't be hating on my girl Tish.
Oh, well, Tish is good. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't beat Tish, so I didn't get Tish.
That's fair. Tish is hard.
Yeah.
Did you beat the game yet?
I did, but you know, I kind of like it was one of those things where I was really enjoying just exploring, but I couldn't. I was like, I can't beat the game until I beat Mikola, and then I couldn't beat Mikola.
Melania.
So Melania, right? Blade of Mikola, whatever.
Yeah.
I get all those names confused. But yeah, I couldn't beat her, and I got really close many times. I tried a bunch of different builds, and I leveled up crazy in that Blood River area. I was like level 140 something. And I still couldn't beat her, and I was like, okay, I'm just lacking skill. I'm gonna just go beat the game. And I just like Horaloo and the Elden Beast just like shattered to pieces before me, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, how is she that hard?
She's ridiculous. It's completely busted. Because I played the game before it came out. I got it like a week early, so there was no one was telling me like what the best things were or anything. I tried the Mimic and I was like, oh, it's kind of crap. It died really quickly. So I tried to beat the game on my own, like a fucking idiot. And then I fought Malekith for like 4 hours, and then the Elden Beast took me like 4 hours as well. It was awful. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. They kind of evaporated before me because my mimic was super strong, kept him busy the whole time.
It's so fun.
I know, right? Just seeing how I could be if I was actually good at the game.
Yeah, it's like you but better.
I know, right?
It's like, go me! Technically I'm winning.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, by the way, everyone watching at home, we're just sitting, chilling, chatting, and catching up. This is a vague thing for
Go watch In Space with Markiplier right now. Yeah. Go watch In Space, okay? I'm in it. Have you found me?
Yeah, not everyone knows that you're in the show.
I know. It was very fun.
Barely anyone knows that Pokimane is in the show.
I know. I didn't even catch her first time through. I went through it once, and I found my section, but I knew what it was because I saw the clip before I recorded the voice for it. Yeah. Or I mean that super in-person character that I was. Right, yeah. Which is so funny because I can't talk about the character that you were going to be. Oh.
But it's like, if you would, like, I can't believe it didn't work out because COVID and stuff and you couldn't come in.
Yeah.
But it just so happened that there needed to be some drone voices.
Wait, do I know who I was going to be? I don't think I do.
Okay, good. Don't, because it's super secretive. Shh.
Okay.
It's secret.
I was going to be Darkiplier.
No! God, that would be so funny. Oh my God, that'd be the funniest shit.
Just a giant rug pull for everyone.
Everyone, forget you just heard that.
For the next part. Quick, we gotta put it in.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't worry, the VFX team, we definitely have the budget left over for that.
How much money can I throw at this to get more explosions?
I think I have like negative $150,000 in the budget. Let's make it happen.
Just tell them you'll pay them later. Tell them you'll pay them an exposure.
Yeah, well, about that. No. For the exposure part of it, I'm actually wearing the shirt of the VFX house. It's Burning Tractor in Austin, Texas. They are fantastic.
Not that I expected less, but you know how these things go, how you're trying to get a show out, you have to like cut corners here and there, and things have to be rushed out the door, and everyone has deadlines. But I was genuinely very, very impressed with the visual effects in it. Because a lot of times these YouTube shows end up like trying to like skirt that and trying to like edit around it, or like whip pan past it so you don't really see much. Yeah. But some of the shots are fucking fantastic looking. I love the lighting in it.
Well, thank you. It's partially due to the fact that the people working on it were very talented and was very savvy, and technology has advanced a lot. But number two, you know who I got to thank for that? Corridor Crew.
Oh.
Do you watch their videos?
Yeah, they're great. They taught me a lot about stuff I don't know.
Exactly. I've watched every VFX artist reacts, and I don't know VFX because I've never done it. I thought I had a general idea, but just getting the knowledge of how VFX actually come together allowed me to communicate with Wes, the guy at Burning Tractor, the VFX coordinator, supervisor actually.
Yeah.
And be able to speak a language so that I wasn't telling him things that couldn't be done or couldn't be done cheaply.
Right.
So we were able to have a dialogue and be like, okay, how can we make this the most effective for what we have? So literally the reason it looks so good is not only because of the VFX team, but because of the knowledge that's out there on YouTube provided by incredibly talented people like the Corridor crew.
Yeah. Because it's kind of the thing that everyone kind of knows what bad CG looks like when you see it, but they put it into words that now it's like, oh, now I know what to look for, and now I know why it's wrong.
Yeah.
And like you didn't do the, what's the sphere thing they do?
The sphere.
Like getting like the lighting maps, so you put like the sphere in, so you get the lighting for the...
All my knowledge from the videos. What is that called?
I can't remember what it's called. HDRI, yeah.
HDRI, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I always like saw that and I was like, I know it's useful, but I don't know what it's for. And now I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of that is just kind of crazy. The amount of like tricks that go into VFX and the amount of brute force that goes into the rest of it. Like anything on a green screen, I didn't realize this. It's not just magic, because you and I have done green screen stuff and you just drop Ultra Key on it in Premiere and you're done. When you key stuff for things like the show, you have to roto out to actually clean it up, even if there's a green screen. Like it has to, because you can't rely on it, because there will be some pixels that you can't see with your eye, but that are there that will spoil the effect.
They roto all of that?
Not it's easier said than done, because this is one of the reasons why it's good to talk to people beforehand, because it's much easier to roto a rectangular shaped window than it is a human head. So you keep the human heads out of the rectangular windows, or put them in the rectangular windows so that they can just be rotoed right out.
Right.
It's just like being able to talk with them really made that all come together.
That's fun.
It was fun. It was really fun. Like, it was
also,
hard work, but
shout out to your best acting, the dummy. Is my favorite gag in the whole thing. It's so, just seeing it fly across the screen every time brings me back to like the good old days.
Oh yeah, the good old days. Look, the good old days don't have to leave, man. They're still here.
I didn't know we were in them until they were gone.
I know, right? No, I'll never not do ragdolls. I don't even care if I get hired by a movie company to make some big budget anything. There's gonna be ragdolls.
Yeah, that's your Gary's mod showing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love it so much. Yeah, it was just fun. I haven't checked out your documentary though. I literally just got back in town on Thursday.
That's totally fine. You were much busier than I have been.
No. It's no excuse. I could have. I was playing Elden Ring though. So
You'll get around to it. It's there.
I do want to see it though. I am kind of curious about the whole mythos that is the Jacksepticeye.
Yeah,
how did you get here?
I don't know. I've forgotten most of it. No, I mean that's a weird one because it was filmed like 4 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then it was supposed to come out, and then the logistics and production side of it kind of got fucked and flubbed, and it was a bit of a mess, and I got kind of pissed off that it didn't come out as soon as it was supposed to come out, and then it just kept getting put off, and then the longer we had it, the more the kind of narrative that was in it shifted, because it was originally supposed to just be like behind the scenes and the tour, but then it was like, well, there's sort of like more to it than we can put in, and it ended up better for it, but then COVID happened and work slowed down for everybody, and I wanted to release it like an actual theater and go with people and like get people to come and watch it, and that couldn't happen, so it just ended up being a mess, but it came out well in the end, I think.
That's cool. That's why I really want to see it. We did the crew premiere of Space at a theater, and like I really wish I had been able to do like some theater events for the show, because I basically took everyone's name in the beginning and I pulled it out of a hat and I let people pick. And it was really fun. Also, it was really fun because the crew had no fucking idea what they were filming because of the order that we filmed it in.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, it makes sense, kinda."
Wait, so, but if you have it for a theater show, then how do you do the story? Like, because it's like pick like A or B at the end of each clip. Did you just do a run through? Oh, I see.
Hey, Isaac, pick a direction, and then we went that way.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, it was, and so like man, if I ever do one of these again, which I don't know when or if I will, just because this one was just such a bear. But yeah, I would love to do that.
That would be that's actually a really cool idea for a live show. If you like film a show like that beforehand, and then you bring that, and then live people get to pick. Although,
dude, that was the original idea for the You're Welcome tour.
Oh,
literally, yeah, because we had just done Date, and we were like, oh, I love this interactive thing. That's why we had like the voting paddles from the beginning.
Yeah,
like, we wanted people to be able to choose what we do, but then we realized, oh my god, this is much harder than we thought. And we've never really done a on-stage show before, so we gotta really redo this.
I guess it's also because people watch you like they are now through a screen, so you don't really want to bring them to a theater just to have them watch a movie.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like we did like improv, so we wanted to get some way to get like live stuff in there.
Yeah.
So it turned out great. I'm not shitting on the show, but that was the original idea.
Yeah, no, the tour was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good and bad shows. We had like, no, not bad shows, I guess, but with improv, it's a real hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it misses, God, it misses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky because I scripted out all of mine, so I can't imagine getting up and not knowing. I mean, I guess you get into the same sort of patterns over and over again. Some jokes kind of come back and you know what bits land, so you can redo them.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I can't imagine
we wouldn't redo a bunch, but we had like a grab bag of staple scenes that we were pretty sure were going to be good.
Yeah, because I mean I can do improv a bit, but it's the singing one that I can't fathom. Like I can come up with goofy songs on the spot a little, but I can't imagine like tying like a thread through it.
But it's so funny because number one, it's easier than you think, just because people laugh at you messing up just as much as they would laugh at you getting it right.
Right.
Getting it right is just like, look how clever I am. But Bob fucking hated doing the rap battle. Like there was this thing where we would play the music and you do a song. I forget what the name of the game is. What the fuck? Anyway, and every single time Bob would get rap, and he would have to rap almost every single show. And he hated it. But Dan knew that he hated it, was the music guy. And he just played it every single time. So
Did Bob do classic Bob and just deadpan it the whole time?
No, he owned it because he's clever. He's a clever boy, and he can do what he needs. Yeah, for those at home who don't know, like, we both did tours way back in the day.
Jeez.
Yonder years of 2018. The pre-COVID era.
And the long, long ago.
The long
That's what surprises me, because in the documentary, like, I can say, yeah, it was recorded 4 years ago, but in the documentary, I said that I'm 28 now, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm 32. I'm a different person now. What happened?
Yeah.
And it's weird to see everyone, like, in a theater without masks.
I know, right? Yeah, I'll see a commercial these days and it's like at a convention, but everyone's just breathing 2 inches from each other's face. I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Fucking gross.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've said it, but I've had it. I don't know if you've had it.
I have not had it.
Wow.
I have flown. I have gone tons of places. Like, I've always masked up, but like, I thought for sure I would have gotten it by now, but I have not. I've avoided it.
All that bone broth.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, because Evelyn didn't get it either, and I shared a room with her. When I had it before I got the test result back, and she didn't get it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But apparently, I mean, I'm sure now that I've said this out loud that I'm going to get it, like almost instantaneously. Like one viral spore making its way.
Yeah. Well, luckily, it's not as life or death as it used to be for people of our age and health.
Yeah.
I was so worried. I have asthma, and the whole time I was like, if I get it, I'm terrified. And then I got it, and I was like, okay, it's bad, but I can get through this.
Yeah. Man, I thought, like, okay, I might be saying this and I might be jinxing myself. I thought I was gonna have to go back to the hospital last night for different reasons. I thought I had a bowel obstruction again.
No.
I literally did, because I had like horrible pain in my gut, woke me up in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, oh God, I know this pain. I know this pain.
I've walked this path.
And then it just went away. So
do you stress? You don't strike me as the type of person that stresses overtly.
No, not really. I mean, I work myself to the point of stress, but I don't stress about stuff in general.
Like you don't get anxious?
Not really, no. The most anxious I've been recently was actually when I put up the premiere page for Space, because I was so worried I was accidentally going to make all of the unlisted videos public, because I had to make one public, and I'm like, YouTube's going to bug out. It's going to make them all public, and it's going to ruin it.
Fuck your ending immediately.
I know, right? Yeah, but
because I worry all the time, especially about health. I've always worried about it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So anytime I feel like I stress myself into health afflictions a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it. I get sick a lot just because I don't sleep as much as I should. Like I get maybe 5, 6 a night. But yeah, stress and lack of sleep, which is basically stressing the system, will do that to you every time.
Yup.
Yeah.
Who knows? Now I'm on ADHD meds. Maybe it'll mellow me out a little bit.
How's that working out for you?
It's been good. We did like a 7-day trial, and then I met with my psychiatrist again yesterday. And she was like, because over here they're way more diligent about it, about giving out the medication and actually making sure you're on it. And I was on like half the dose that I'm supposed to be on, just to see if it handles my body. And I got blood tests and heart tests and everything done.
Yeah.
And then it's been good. I feel like when I took it the first day, I was like euphoric. I was like, this is it. Wow. Which she warned me about. And then after like 3 days, I kind of like settled into it. And now she was like, I want you to do like 2 days off every week. Just to kind of like, she was like, the efficacy of it just somehow is better when you do that. And just to like get your system used to it and give yourself a little break.
I am not a doctor. I am not. So I cannot give you advice on that. All I can say is from my own experience. So no one listening to this, take this as any kind of medical advice. I have tried that. The way I live my life is that I don't really take weekends off.
Right.
So technically speaking, because I need to work 7 days a week, I found that taking it without breaks is better. But when I did take a break, it messes me up for those 2 days. It's not really a break, but maybe that's because I did it for a long time. Doing 7 days a week. Because I can't say anything specifically, but
I was gonna say today and yesterday I didn't take it, and now I was like, holy shit, that actually was doing stuff to me. Like now my brain is all over the place. It's so hard to like sit and actually focus on things again. I'm like, whoa, it actually worked. Surprising.
And obviously, like for everyone home, medication isn't like magic. It's not the perfect solution.
Yeah.
We have had doctors prescribe us ADHD medication. We have taken rigorous tests and stuff like that. We are not advising everyone to go out and go get tested immediately. This is just personal experience. Yes. However, yeah, just like I've been taking medication for about like maybe 12 years now.
Yeah. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because Mark was the one that advised me, because you know the symptoms more than anybody because you have it. And since we're in like the same space and we had a lot of conversations about it in the past, and you every time you were like, kind of sounds like you've ADHD, and I was like, I should get tested, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the kick in the pants for me to go do it.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I think a common symptom of ADHD is to forget to get tested, or come up with excuses not to. Yeah,
she gave me these forms to sign for the next time I was coming back, and she was like, "So did you sign those forms?" And I was like, "Listen, you must get this a lot." I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm trying.
Yeah. I think it'll turn out good for you. And like I said before, not magic, but I think it'll be a big help.
Yeah, no, the biggest thing for me was getting diagnosed and then kind of having a contextual relief for my life. And as she said, it's like 20% medication and the rest is like effort on my end, which I have been doing to like schedule things on whiteboards better, which I've never done.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a task list. There's an app called Minimalist. I believe it's free or it's very cheap. It's the most basic pared down app you could find to write lists, and break your tasks up into the smallest possible increments. And then it doesn't matter if it's like, if you need to exercise, you're trying to run a mile, put it in like quarter-mile increments so that every time you run a quarter mile, you can cross it off. The smaller you break up your tasks, the better, because it will make you keep going for the next task. So breaking down your tasks into tiny things and keeping track of them is great. Candy as a reward, as much as it seems like you're giving yourself dog treats, it fucking works. Don't ask me why.
You're Pavloving yourself.
Yeah, every time you cross something off your list, eat a piece of candy. It works. You will Pavlov yourself to success.
Wow.
I'm not joking. It sounds crazy, but there's a whole bunch of like ADHD. There's a subreddit about it. There's Discord channels about it. People can talk about it, but also just like, I've got a bunch of tricks.
Yeah, one of the ones she told me was a website called Attitude, but like Attitude with ADD in it. And I think, I haven't looked at it yet, but I think she said it was like bite-sized like articles for you to get information through. I'm like, yes, it's like cereal box reading. That I can do.
Yeah, that sounds like a good resource.
Yeah.
There's all kind of things. I mean, everyone's different. The biggest thing that helped me was just getting in a regular wake up time.
Yeah.
Like that changed everything for me. Once I started doing that, it was tough, but now I can't not wake up at 6 a.m. Which sucks because sometimes I want to sleep in and I can't.
I've been waking up at like 9 a.m., which normally I'm like 11 a.m. kind of person. So I've been getting like earlier and earlier over this week. I don't know if it was meds or just sheer will, but I finally started getting up at a regular schedule. And today then I was like, okay, nothing really to do today until tonight. I'm just going to sleep in. And then I was up at like 9.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
That is habit, and also, yeah, medication does mess with sleep. That is one of the biggest downsides.
Yeah. But again, we're not professionals.
Yeah. What do we know? We're idiots.
Our psychiatrist told us what to do.
Don't listen to us. We have ADHD.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. What's that over there? I am fascinated to know what the Venn diagram is of ADHD and YouTubers.
Oh my God. Probably.
I think the reason we seek this out is like scheduling and being your own boss and not being in regimes that other people kind of put on you. Maybe.
Yeah. I never worked well in the office, and I worked in many offices, and God, that sucked. I don't know.
What did you do in an office?
I was an intern for my engineering degree that everyone is making fun of me right now because I said I was an engineer in my show. But yeah, I actually did work like internships for engineering, and so boring.
Paid or unpaid?
Paid, thankfully. Yeah. And not bad money, more money than I had made at any job, for the least amount of work that I've ever done for a job. But to be perfectly honest, I would have rather been building decks in the middle of summer than sit at a cubicle and do 2 hours of work over a 10-hour day.
Yeah.
It's just awful. My boss would just be like, okay, you get to write one engineering report. And I was like, okay. The engineering reports that we made were 1 page. So I had to write 1 page, and that was my daily task. And that was all they would give me.
All day?
Nothing. All day.
Jesus.
All day.
See, that sounds like a treat when you're younger. Like, man, I just have to do 1 page and then have nothing else to do. Because I worked in I've never done an office job, and I've never done many jobs, but I did work in like a construction place that reinforced like bridge beams. Mm-hmm. So you like stretch out the cables and then you fill the mold with concrete. And that a lot of that in the first like month was me walking around like cleaning up the place. And then it was like, I wasn't allowed to touch any of the stuff because it was so complex. And I actually have a funny story about it, but I got so bored. I was like, I would love to be doing actual work now instead of just walking around doing nothing.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I do think that now that I'm doing what I'm doing, like I would never want to do anything else for the rest of my life.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm absolutely sure.
This is great.
And it is great. It just is. Like the fact that I can make, that stupid Pokemon Smasher pass. Do you know that wasn't even my idea? That was Wade. Wade told me to do that.
Wow.
because it came up in a conversation about Pokemon. I think we did an episode of Distractable, and then he was like, you should do a smash or pass. I'm pretty sure that was 100% his idea. And then I was recording because I had to go for an audio session in Texas for space, and I was like, I need content. Fuck it. I'll just do this.
It's something that's going to eclipse in space by the end of the year.
I know. It's so stupid. Just like Meow. Fucking Meow is my most popular video in the world.
Look, a lot of people, because that's one of those videos, it went up and I was like, you motherfucker, that's genius. I'm so envious that I did not think of that idea. And I was like sitting there going like, that's perfect YouTube content. I was like, son of a bitch, he can't keep getting away with it.
Literally just shout out the whole time. I was like, I shouldn't make this video. Literally the whole time. Before I recorded, I was like, this is a dumb idea. Afterwards, I went, I shouldn't post this. I sent it off. Lixian just made it. And I was like, I was in Texas, I was like, I guess I don't really have more content. I'll throw this video up.
See, that's what's fun. Yeah. I'm so sick of what everything on YouTube is. Have you ever gone to the trending page recently where every thumbnail looks the same and it's all Fortnite, Minecraft, FIFA?
Yes, I have.
And then this comes out and I'm like, yes, this is what YouTubing is. It's so fun. And that's something that I kind of got in my head about last year, where I was like, I'm not uploading as much, so everything I upload has to be like something worth watching. But I want to do that kind of stuff more again, where it's like, if I have a dumb idea, I just want to do it instead of like thinking about it too much.
Yeah, I've always learned that the ideas where I go, I don't know if I should post this, means I should definitely post
exactly.
This. It's never failed me.
And if you get cancelled, you can always just apologize after. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry I smashed that ice cream Pokemon. I had an error in judgment.
I have had a severe lapse in judgment.
Has anyone come out with an unapology video where they're just like, I would like to never apologize for my behavior.
Yeah, fuck you.
Everything I've done.
You know what? You should apologize to me. Yeah. Great video. And I was like, I want to do something like that. And I was like, well, I can't do the same thing because everybody else is doing the exact same thing. Like, it's not really fun to just repeat the exact same piece. But I was like, what would Mark do if he was to do a sequel? And I was like, FNAF. Perfect.
Oh, you did a FNAF?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that video. I didn't see that.
It's very derivative, but...
oh, no, everything on YouTube's derivative. Who'd you smash? Who'd you pass? Give me the rundown.
All the glam rock ones except Monty, because fuck Monty.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
The original Freddy, of course. I honestly can't remember who I smashed. There are so many animatronics. Did you know there's ones made out of like wood?
What?
And there's cyberpunk animatronics. There's stuff made out of like ice.
Ice?
I think they're in like the books and mobile games and everything. They're fucking weird.
Official Scott approved animatronics.
Well, I don't know what the fuck Scott approves these days, but they are on the official wiki for them.
Weird. I know they were doing that game that was supposed to be like all the other FNAF fan games.
Oh, FNAF AR, apparently. They're like skins.
Oh, right! AR! I should know more about that game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The ones at
a bunch of weird ones.
The ones at the bottom are so bizarre.
So I'm just on your channel right now. Just like biting. Are you biting a fidget spinner? What are you doing there?
What am I doing?
Your ADHD.
Oh
toys?
Yeah. I was talking about ADHD toys. I realized that I used to use like sticky tack. You know, you put up posters with. We have a version of it called blue tack in Ireland that I realized that I used to do a lot when I was a kid in school. And now I'm like, oh, it's an ADHD thing. It was like a fidget. And then I saw Ethan did a video on toys like that. And I was talking to Evelyn about it. I was like, I should do that. Now that I have it, it's a good excuse to like talk about like the diagnosis.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a gummy thing.
Sure.
I'm a terrible example.
I was helping Tyler with some stuff. We were moving some boxes around, and then he had a fidget spinner in one of his things. I was like, "How do you use this?" And then the rest of the day, I was spinning the fidget spinner nonstop.
Oh,
and by the end, God, I almost walked out of his house with a cup of ice water because he got it for me after everything. He was like, "You thirsty?" I was like, "What do you got?" "Water." "Okay." And I walked out the door with the cup in my hand. I was like, God,
I am so a classic me.
Anyway, I'm watching your Smash Your Pass video.
Please validate me.
Well, oh, did you smash Frankenstein, Freddy?
I don't know any of them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Dude, I don't even know half of these.
And it started to get to a point where I was like, the ones with teeth, they start looking a little different after the first 10. The more teeth, the better.
What is this snowman? What is that?
Right?
What are these? Oh, weird.
So bizarre. I think that was the biggest outcome of that video, was how many there were.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, your turn.
Oh, no. You got a gold record for All the Way? That got 100 million?
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah. Apparently, YouTube streams are like half of a music stream or something. They have a pinned comment on it going down through the numbers. So because it hit 500,000 technically, or whatever, 500 billion.
Oh yeah, Shmoyaho.
Yeah, so it says.
Oh God, Shmoyaho, what a fucking hero! Like the show. I don't know if people were listening to the music and they detected it, but the "Space is So Cool" song is woven into the show.
Oh, neat.
It's like the opening theme. It's more prevalent in part 2. Spoiler alert, everybody, go watch the show. There's gonna be a part 2.
There's a part 2 coming out.
There's a part 2 coming out. But just like, oh man, they just did such a good job with. And all I said to them was, hey, can you just like make a few simple like melodies of "Space is So Cool" in so it's such and such different ways, and then like the film noir universe, like I heard that jazz and I was just like, oh, what the fuck?
Super talented.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, those guys, they deserve so much more. Like they
really do, because that like Songify stuff was really big like 5-6 years ago, and sadly it's kind of like dwindled with algorithm changes and everything, but they deserve the world.
It's like any kind of channel that takes a long time to make content. You know, they can't just pump that shit out because it's music and they're musicians and they're trying to like edit these shits and green screen all this stuff. It's tough. And so like they deserve the world. If you haven't listened to Shmoyaho, go listen. Go to their channel. Give them a sub.
They're
like. Give them anything.
Well, don't do that to them. Hopefully they're on TikTok though, because I feel like that stuff would click really well with that.
I think they have been doing some TikTok stuff. At least one of the Gregory brothers has.
But yeah, because they did the musical thing for Heist as well, right?
Yes, they did that musical, and really incredibly, they did that musical. God, it's a wonder that ever turned out. Have I ever told you the story of how we filmed that one?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. It's not like an incredible story, but we filmed that whole piece. This is talking about Heist with Markiplier now. The prison section was actually filmed in a still operating mental hospital.
Wow.
There was a part of it that was shut down, and we were allowed to film in. We were only allowed to film there like for certain hours on certain days, because otherwise we would be interrupting services there, and like the patients there would be able to hear us, and we had to be very quiet. So the only time that we could film was like 10 o'clock at night, starting at 10. And we have a dance choreographer there with us, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and I guarantee you this lovely lady, who I can't remember the name of, does not work the midnight shift in dance choreography. So she was very tired, but she didn't show it. She was incredible. And we learned the entire routine, every part of it, in a cumulative 30 minutes.
Jeez.
That is all the time that we had to get everything set up ready. It is a miracle that we shot that at all, because the outside portion where we go into the yard and like people are lifting weights and stuff, my assistant director tells me there's no way we can get this because it'll take 10 minutes to set up. We have 15 minutes until we go to lunch, and then we have to go film something else. And I'm like, 5 minutes is all we need. One take, and we got it. And I literally had to sprint while they were setting up everything to all of the individual extras. I was like, you're going to do this. We're going to do this. You do this. You do this. We're going to play the music. And then it was like, okay. And Isaac's looking at me like, we only have one take to go. And we fucking nailed it. We nailed it first try. Every other shot that night, later that night, we fucking nailed it. 1 or 2 takes. Boom, done. All the extras were incredible. Everyone was astonishing. And even if they messed up, which they did, it looked charming in the final video. It was all good. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. That was a mad dash, dude. That day was nuts.
There's still mental hospitals?
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, I say of course. Is that weird?
Well, I guess just the terminology of calling them a mental hospital, I think, has changed maybe.
Right. Yeah. I'm probably not even using the right terminology. I did that the other day because I was on the airplane and I called the flight attendant a stewardess.
Oh.
And she looked at me like I was straight out of the 1950s. Because I don't know why that's the word in my head. It was just like, oh God, I'm so sorry. You're right. I don't even know if it's like insulting, but it's just like, oh man, that's just the word that jumped out.
Well, things change all the time. There was I remember back in like the early 2000s, they were trying to get rid of the word actresses because they said that everybody was an actor, and then I mean, I still think they're called actors and actresses. Yeah, like even in the Oscars.
Yeah, when you do think about it, it is kind of strange because it's not like there's any difference in terms of capability of acting.
Yeah.
Between men and women. I think it's just to like create 2 different categories to make one special.
Yeah, but I think they were trying to merge it so that there was no discrimination either way. But then it just kind of reversed, and I don't know when or why.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
Oh well, the world changes all the time.
Yeah, that is true. You're right. Boomer confirmed. I don't know. Just a lot of my language just feels old.
I mean, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there, man.
You're soon to be 33.
I will be, yes. On June 28th, I will be 33.
What are you going to do?
It'll be lovely. I don't know. I'm trying to get to Korea again. They just opened up for vaccinated people. Like, they don't have to do the quarantine anymore. So that's
nice.
Good. I get to go over there now. But for my birthday, I don't know. Probably play video games.
Pussy, money, weed.
Pussy, money. Yeah, in that order.
LA's the town to get it, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Austin's cool though. Have you ever been to Austin?
I was there for South by Southwest when I hosted the game award show there, and then I did it for my. Did I? No, I don't think I did it for my tour. I think I did. Oh, I must have. I was in Austin and Dallas. Austin's great. I love it.
I have now officially lived in Austin. Is the 3rd longest place I've ever lived in my life, because just by the amount of stuff I have done in Austin, and that's just these 2 shows, like Heist in Space.
Yeah.
So, but I've kind of grown to love it. The rest of Texas thinks it's a liberal hellhole with nothing but hippies on every street corner, which I found fascinating because all I think about when I go to Austin is like, man, is real Texas in here.
It's like, to them, it's the worst, but to you, it's still Texas.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was. It was either Austin or Dallas that when I went there for my show, the first thing we saw getting off the tour bus was a parade for anti-gun laws, and there was 2 dudes walking down the street just carrying rifles in their hand. And I was like, first of all, welcome to Texas, but that was like the biggest cultural shift I've ever had going to America.
Yeah. Not that that's everywhere here, but I could, if you told me that was in any state, I would believe you. You know?
Wild. Because that was like a learning moment for me where I didn't know what an open carry meant. Because why would I? I'm a European. When I thought open carry state, I was like, oh, they're allowed to have beers without bottle caps on. I was like, yeah, it's open carry that bottle around. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because in the you're in the UK, like you can't even have a knife, right?
No. Some knives are illegal to import.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. Like, just not being able to have like a knife for self-defense. Because if in America, if I'm going camping, there's no way in hell I'm not carrying a knife because of, say, an animal that wants to eat my face, or some crazy man in the woods that wants to eat my face.
Right.
But also just like I have a knife just for self-defense whenever I feel uncomfortable.
Dude, you have a shovel that's a knife.
I have a boar spear.
What?
I have a spear for boars.
I gathered that from the name. It's very intuitive, but I'm more shocked at the why of it.
You don't ask an American why he has a boar spear.
My bad, you're right.
What are you, crazy?
It is boar country out there.
No, I got it for a video, and no, it wasn't to go hunt boars. But I got it for a video, and then I got busy with space, so I didn't manage to film it. So it's kind of just been sitting in my living room. It's very sharp. It is.
If it's to hunt boar, I'd hope so.
It is. There are boars in LA. Maybe there are.
There has to be a better way to hunt boar than with spear.
What? Are you gonna put a knife? Like, what are you gonna do? That boars are big.
I know,
boars
but
are
like
freaking huge.
I thought like crossbow or something, gun. Like.
No! Look, boar spear is more of a preventative thing, I think, than.
Oh, it's not like a throwy
thing.
It's more like
I would
pike.
Throw my spear. I'm gonna hold on to it because I don't trust my aim enough to hit that boar. But if I got a boar coming at me, I got a spear. Keep
that by your bed. Intruders come in. They don't even wake you up. Honestly, they just see boar spear and they're like, "Dude, wrong house. This is the protagonist. Get out of here."
They see katanas or something like, freaking weed, but if they see a boar spear, they know. They know I mean business.
I mean, you can get knives in England. People keep saying in chat now, like, I cut bread with my fingers. Like, you can get knives. You just can't get, like, exotic knives.
Right.
Like, you can get, like, a camping knife and a penknife and a Swiss Army knife and those kinds of things, but you can't get, like, a butterfly knife or stuff intended to, like, kill people.
Oh my god, yeah, no, I wouldn't want a butterfly knife. I don't even know if a butterfly knife is intended to kill people. I think that's intended to chop your fingers off. There was this guy on set, his name is Mike, and he constantly had a real sharp butterfly knife with him on set, and he would be like practicing with it in between shots and stuff like that. And by the end of the shoot, his fingers were so cut up.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, man, I'm starting to lose feeling in this finger. I'm just like, dude.
Severed a nerve. Because Felix messes with like the fake ones, and he gave me one, and I was like messing with that, and I kept like bashing into my hand. Granted, I'm not, I can't do it. But I was like, man, if this had a blade on it, I'm literally going to lose lots and lots of blood.
Exactly. I think even in Team Fortress 2, the Spies is a single blade, like a forward blade butterfly knife. There's some people with, like, it's sharp on both sides of the knife.
Oh, God.
How does that work? I don't think that's common, though. I think that's, like, supposed to cut your finger off. Because I think there are some tricks that you were supposed to rest the back of the blade on your finger. Mm-hmm. So, pretty sure. Maybe I'm talking on my ass. Well, I don't know butterfly knife.
I think people, even in butterfly knife competitions, you see them cut their hands in it.
Oh, God.
That tells me everything I need to know.
Tactical whip. Oh, right. The tactical whip. I did a video on that.
You have a whip?
No, I had one. I did an Amazon self-defense video. And there was a tactical whip. That son of a bitch hurt. I would not want to be hit by a tactical whip. And it's not even a tactical, and it's not even really a whip. It's a piece of, like, threaded metal, you know, like a metal rope. Probably that thing that you worked on with bridges.
Oh.
In a plastic tube.
Oh, God.
It hurts.
That's a club.
Basically, yeah. It's a club that's slightly flexible, and I mean slightly.
Yeah, like a fucking police baton.
Yeah.
Damn.
Honestly, that would do the job. Yeah, that would stop me.
So you said...
If I was trying to attack you, it would stop me.
You said fuck all that boar spear. Amazon doesn't have what I need. Wait, where do you buy a boar spear from?
Amazon.
You can no.
Look, man.
I was gonna search Amazon, but it wouldn't show up on UK Amazon.
I got a boar spear from Amazon, man. If it wasn't Amazon, I would have gone to Walmart or something. They probably would have had a boar spear.
Buy a TV, get a boar spear.
Yeah, man. Why not? Why not? Live a little. God, man, you gotta get in the American spirit.
Yeah, what do you go to Dick's Sporting Goods for otherwise? Shoes?
Yeah. Come on.
The greatest sport of all. Boar hunting.
Guns for fishing.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon for you now?
I'm trying to like not take on too many things because I realized last year I kept saying yes to a lot of shit, and then by the time it came I totally forgot that it was happening, and then I was like, fuck, I gotta do this, and then you half-ass it just to get it done. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying not to do that. So I'm kind of sort of all in on coffee at the moment, and like we have a lot of changes happening internally with that just to reorient things and kind of get it back on track. And now that like travel is open, maybe do stuff with that, go out and like see where everything's roasted and go to the factory where everything's packed and do some content there.
That would be cool. Man, we should have done something for space because you know how we have all the coffee mugs. Like, man, I didn't think about that. That would have been perfect for it.
Look, making a show is a miracle that it gets made at all. There's a million different moving parts.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. 100% true. But yeah, no, coffee. You've sent me many bags. I should actually just go buy a subscription, but you keep sending me free bags. But no,
what's the point of having a coffee company if you can't send your friends bags of coffee?
I know, right? Everyone listening at home, hey, if you want some great coffee, why not try Top of the Morning Coffee? Available at topofthemorningcoffee.com?
Yes. Thank you.
Topofthemorningcoffee.com. TOPOFTHE.
To morning.
MORNIN?
Yes.
Coffee.
I have no idea how to spell coffee, so.
COFFEE. Top of the morning coffee.com.
Yeah, we did soap recently.
I was wondering what that was all about.
We did a candle last year and we did soap this year, so we have like a running gag for April Fools every year. Because you know how so many companies are like, we have this, like Walker's Crisps, kind of like our version of Lay's, had like bread slices of crisps. And they were like, the new bread-shaped Walkers. And everyone was like, oh my God, yes, that's amazing. And then they're like, no, just an April Fool's mock-up. Like, make the product.
I think for one April Fool's, I sold a rock. I literally sold a rock. And people got on my shit about it because, like, I can't believe we're selling a rock for $10. I said, I can't believe people are buying a rock for $10. What? I'm not making them buy it.
Who's the idiot now?
Yeah, all of us. Shut up.
No, the rock is a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, some people at my chest still have the rock. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a doorstop, a paperweight, a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a buddy that's not going to age on you.
Mm-hmm. A lover. All of the above.
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
True enough. Anything's a sounding rod if you're brave enough.
Jesus. I didn't like that one. But other than that, I don't really have too much planned. I kind of want to just get back on my groove with YouTube stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like just really enjoy what I'm doing and have fun with it, and I want to like do more stuff with more people again now that like the world is opening up more, and go out and actually visit people face to face.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. I mean, that's kind of my attitude now as well, because I've done all these big, long, huge time investment projects, and just like I'm so ready to just do some stupid ass videos. And smaller big projects, like just something that's only going to take a month, not a year and a half.
Right.
Like that's That's real. I feel like I have not been in the internet sphere for almost 2 years now, maybe even longer. Because like we did Unis Honest before I was really even getting started with space, and that was a year commitment that took all of our time. I mean, you were on like some videos, and it's just like that was every day for a year. Nothing else could even happen. I couldn't even think.
Yeah.
Because I also had to keep up with videos on my channel. It was just like, and then immediately going from that to space, I was like, I have not been alive on the internet for like 2.5 years.
Yeah. And that's the scary thing. Well, scary. It moves like on a month-to-month basis, even a week-to-week basis most times. So you miss a lot when you're out of it like that. But that's also good. You don't want to be too much in this space. It's just not a lot happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're totally right about that. But I just feel like because I started asking people, like I reached out to you if you wanted to sit on this to help get the word about space, and we're not talking about it all, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. Go watch Space, everybody.
Go watch Space and Markiplier on his channel.
That's my new show, whatever. But it's like I started reaching out to a bunch of other YouTubers for the first time in ages. And I kept saying to myself, like, oh god, I don't know if anyone will want to collab with me. I don't know what people think of me. And then just like everyone is so nice. Everyone's just like, hell yeah, man, I'd love to do something. Let's do something. I messaged Charlie, like Moist Critical, and he was like, dude, come out. I can't do his voice. Whatever. Come out to where I am. We'll film videos. I'm just like, whoa. All right, man. Cool. I'd love to. And I might. I'm kind of traveled out, but I think I'm going to try to find something.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go out visit Charlie for the longest time. He the same thing. It was like, yeah, come out. Let's do some stuff. And then COVID happened. And now it's the energy to travel anywhere. It's like, but I'm like it here.
Yeah. Oh man, I've flown so much in just this past year. Just the amount of trips I've taken out to Austin. People have no idea because I don't tweet out when I'm traveling anymore. Because like I wasn't tweeting out anyway, just because I literally had no time or the mental capacity to do social media. But I was just like, I have flown, I think, maybe a dozen times since
that's a lot.
Like the beginning of this year, which is. If I fly out once a month, even before COVID, that was amazing. I have flown maybe 12 back and forth, so 24 if you count both legs, times to Austin, to Cincinnati, to South Carolina, to all these different places in the past 4 months. It's not even half a year yet.
Yeah, I used to travel like 10 times a year, and that was a lot. So, fucking hell.
Yeah. But now I'm kind of done.
Now you're a homebody.
I'm a homebody. Yes, I am. I cannot wait to just enjoy some home for a bit. And that's kind of been the best thing is, well, except for the fact that I had to go this week after, like, the show launched on Monday and then I had to be on a plane the next day, which kind of sucked. Yeah. But just like sitting at home and watching people's responses to the show was like, that is the whole reason that I make things, is to see people enjoy something and really just like soak it in. Yeah. Like I don't care that Meow is going to always eclipse any video that I've ever done. You know, I don't care about any of that. Whenever I have worked on something and I see people feel about it the way I was hoping that they'd feel about it, like all those nuanced emotions, all the stuff about it, it's just the most incredible feeling. It's indescribable, except as someone who has felt it before. When you make something and like talking to other YouTubers, like people can actually relate to that feeling of just people enjoying what you make. It's the only thing that keeps me going. I mean, okay, that sounds depressing. No, it's the only thing that really keeps me going in terms of creating, and it's enough fuel that like gets me to the point where I am happy if I can do this for the rest of my life. Even if the audience size changes, I don't care. If I get to make things for the rest of my life, I'm a happy man. And so... Yeah, because
there's like, it's great that a lot of people know who you are, and sure, it's great to be able to do it as a job and be financially stable, but honestly, you can't do it for this long, like you or I have been, if you don't also enjoy interacting with your community and actually... having them, because we've seen YouTubers like come and go and fall off, and a lot of that is due to them not actually caring about their audience because they'll just drop it at any sign they can. But I think if you're on YouTube for any length of time, it's because you like seeing people's reactions to what you make and you make it for them. And I mean, I'm sure your show has 1,000,001 references that only people in your audience would get. And they're in that because of that reason.
Yeah, that's the most crazy thing. That's why I'm so appreciative of like Shmoyoho making those songs, just because that number one, it's good music. It's great for the show. It works, it fits, but it's so much more special for the people that understand where it comes from.
Yeah.
That only comes from like really caring about the people watching your stuff for a long period of time and staying true to like that idea. And it's just like, man, I wish more people on YouTube understood that. I wish more people in the creative sphere in general understood that.
Yeah.
The kind of like, it's not, you owe something to the people that watch your stuff. I owe something to you watching at home for giving me the chance to do what I do. Doesn't matter how much success I have, there's an unspoken connection there where you give me your time, and time is the most valuable thing in the world. I have to make that time worth it.
Yep.
Like that's the contract. And if you keep trusting me with your time, I will give you better and better stuff as I get better as a creator. And that's the whole thing for me. I'm sure there's other reasons to make stuff, of course. But
Smash or pass on Pokemon, baby.
Worth your time. You know it's going to be worth
I mean, it's popping off and started a trend for a reason. Clearly, that's what the internet wants, so.
It's what it needed, not what it deserved, of course. Oh, no, it's what it deserved, not what it needed.
The internet deserves much, much worse.
Yeah, but it's also really cool when a stupid idea, I think that's just, I have no excuse for that. I really don't, but it is cool whenever I'm like not able to post a consistent schedule that at least the people watching at home can trust me and be like, okay, he must be working on something special. Like it's that trust that I never want to betray, and that I make fun of my audience all the time, and I do betray that trust all the time when I trick them into like thinking that the trailer is changing when I'm watching it 100 times in a row. But I do appreciate that trust. It's always going to be special to me.
Yeah. I mean, that comes with years of actually like building on your promises. I mean, we all break promises all the time to our audiences, but if you actually don't have anything to show for it at the end of the day, then people leave and move on. But clearly there's something there. You're just so goddamn attractive. You're just a himbo. That's why people are here.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. Just us attractive.
Just us Giga Chads holding down the two pillars of the gaming community.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. No.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know. This is just really nice to catch up with you.
Yeah. Likewise.
I didn't know how long you wanted to go, but
I mean, I've nothing for the rest of the night, so whenever you want to call it.
I technically have stuff to do.
That's totally fine. You're much earlier in the day than I am.
Yeah, I for everyone at home, and you haven't seen Space, which I don't know why you would be here and you haven't seen it, because we have an unspoken contract, and you trust me, right? You trust me. Go watch In Space, because there is a part 2 coming. Spoiler alert.
And that is technically why we're here doing this stream. Not only to catch up, but to do Mark a solid. And he worked very hard on his show, and it's worth watching, and it deserves eyeballs. And I know a lot of people in our audiences share across both channels, but in case that net can catch any people who don't know about it, then you can go watch it.
Oh, well, thank you. And if you guys at home didn't know, Sean is in the show.
I am.
I'll leave it up to you to find where.
It doesn't take too long to find me, but I might surprise you.
A few bad decisions. I think it might only be one bad decision down the road.
Look, that's how everybody finds me in life. A few bad decisions on YouTube. You're on my channel, baby.
Yeah. So go check it out. It's on my channel. Enjoy it, because I've got some cool stuff in the work to post in between now and part 2 that I need to go work on literally right now.
Yeah.
I have to. So, but thank you, Sean. It's good to talk to you. And
yeah.
If you ever want to work on stuff together,
absolutely. We'll come up with something big this year that we can both do.
Big, yeah, definitely. Huge.
Both get naked.
I mean, that would be huge.
Nude calendar 2.
I've been thinking about it. Maybe a collaborative edition. We just get a bunch of other YouTubers to be involved.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah. That's good.
Nice.
Oh, also, side note for other people in the show, Pokey is in the show.
Yes.
You have to find her. You hear her voice multiple times throughout the show.
So go write in your comments. Well, try and find us and then go to the comments. Don't just cheat.
Yes. Yeah,
watch it multiple times to see if you can find us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go do stuff that I should have done before I started streaming. The email.
Yeah. Let's record something with the guys soon.
Yeah. Well, let's definitely do that.
If you don't want to, if you're taking time off, that's fine.
No, God, no. This is where I'm going to stock up on videos so I can actually be at a regular schedule by the time I'm done with my interim work between this show. No, we should play Bigfoot. There was this other 4-player horror game that came out recently, and then you mentioned something that came out recently. Didn't you? A while back? It was like a month. Must have been months ago. My timeline
probably.
Thanks, a month ago. But there are many other 4-player games out there that we should definitely play.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Bigfoot also. That's not what I was thinking, but definitely, yeah, Bigfoot. We should get Bigfoot again. Because we could not get him, the three of us.
He's a big lad.
All right. Yeah. All right. Everyone at home, I'm not going to rate anyone because you got to go watch In Space with Markiplier on my channel. Go now.
Do it.
Excuses. Go now. Even if you've already seen it, you have to go now. Please. I'm begging. I'm asking nicely. Please. Okay, thank you. All right. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Cool. All right. Cool. Who would have thought? I bet you didn't have me streaming on your bingo card today. Here I am. Yeah, I mean, I'll hang around for a tiny bit, just so it's not just that, and then we can actually chat a small bit. Because it's been a while. I feel like I've actually been thinking about streaming over and over again over the last while. And especially in like the last week, I was thinking about it because I was like, I keep thinking about what I would stream and I'm like, this game, that game. And I'm like, I could just sit down and chat, I guess. But then whenever I used to do it, people were like, well, what is he playing today? But I don't care. But yeah, it's good to stream. I kind of stopped because I had other stuff going on at the time, and then you know why I stopped playing with other people is because I actually started getting my sleep schedule under control. I started going to bed at like midnight, 1 a.m.-ish, or like winding down my day at that point. And that's usually when people in America would start streaming. And it just didn't align anymore. And every time people asked, I always had stuff going on, or I would be like done for the day. And I've been trying to be better about my work-life balance and try and get stuff done earlier. So I kind of stopped playing with other people that way, and that kind of got me out of streaming in general. And then the more I thought about it, the more streaming stressed me out. It got to a point where I was streaming so regular. Like, this is fine because it's like a smaller stream and not many people get the notification and not everybody's here. But it was getting to a point where after like the Rust stuff and Among Us and everything, I was actually becoming like a legitimate streamer for a while. And there was a lot of people showing up and like getting into the spirit of it, which was great. But it genuinely made me anxious to stream. Some people are built better for this, but as someone who's come from doing VOD content first and then coming to do stream content more regularly, it was like seeing the same people over and over again and then kind of worrying that you're not providing enough content for them. And because all my videos have a lot of effort gone into them. Well, not all of them. Let's call a spade a spade. Some of them are very, very easy to do, but like just the expectation of being live and then I go live for the interaction of chat is what I'm trying to say. Because if I'm live and I'm not interacting with chat, then why am I live? If that makes any sense. Like, I like being live for the interactive element, like being able to read all of your comments here now, even though I'm not directly answering any of them or saying anything about them, but I'm reading them, and I'm like, it makes me feel like you're actually there. And if I'm live and I just have the chat off to the side and I close it down and I'm not watching it, then I'm like, well, why am I even live? I could just record a YouTube video out of this and upload it the next day. So I enjoy actually interacting with people, but it did become a lot where I would go live and I would like start getting anxious and stressed about it. And maybe Among Us was a reason for that. I used to go to bed after Among Us like really, really anxious, because a lot of people were able to play that game and leave the stuff at the door and then go to bed without it. And in my brain, I could tell myself that, but I'm a very emotionally driven person. I'm a very empathetic person. So I put myself in people's shoes a lot, and playing Among Us would just stress me the fuck out, where I would go to bed like going over every scenario in my head again, being like, man, that person sounded mad. They're not actually mad, but it kind of sounded like they were, and that kind of stuff. So I just couldn't handle it. So I just stopped. But thankfully, over the last like while, things have gotten better. Like the ADHD stuff has been helping a lot, because just getting that diagnosis and figuring out like, yeah, you're anxious for a reason. Like, I got diagnosed with ADHD, obsessional health anxiety, and something about ideation, and just general anxiety as well. So it's not just like, oh, I feel a little anxious. Like, I was clinically diagnosed as being an anxious person. And I also, I worry about like health stuff a lot. And whenever something's happening, it's like, oh, what is that? Like today, I just had some brain fog, and I was like, that's it. There's something in my brain that's going wrong. I'm getting early onset dementia. I'm just going old. Like, I catastrophize a lot about that stuff. So I'm trying to get that under control. But yeah, there's a lot. So the ADHD meds though have been helping a lot, getting me sort of regulated, and like getting my like actually writing down my schedule. See, this is how my brain works. Whenever I get any sort of task to do, I'm like, okay, cool. My manager kind of deals with a lot of stuff like that and reminds me when a call has to be done or whatever. But I see that, I go, yes, I will do that on that date. Then it completely goes out of my brain until an hour before it has to happen. And then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I had this call. I can't do this thing now. And then we do the call and I come out of it. But then trying to organize anything and trying to schedule like a big block of stuff gets really, really overwhelming for my brain. So I just don't do any of it, and I just shut down, basically. But then that stuff's always in the back of my head being like, you should have been doing this. You should have been doing this. And then I start getting anxious about that, about all the things that I'm not doing. And then I just do nothing. And then I procrastinate a lot. And that just like makes the anxiety worse. And then I'm like, whenever I sit down to record videos, I'm like, what should I do? And then I kind of like pick something off the top of my head here and now, and then I record it instead of planning anything out. And sometimes that's fine. Sometimes I think I work best in the spontaneity, but I think actually writing down what I'm doing, like those Chill as Art games that I've been doing, I like wrote down on what day I'm recording them. And I recorded Chasing Static yesterday or the day before. And I had that written down. I was like, you're doing this that day, because I kept putting it off knowing how long it was. And that's a game that I did the demo of, and it came out. And then I was like, I should really get to that, and just didn't. It's the same with Far Changing Tides. I did loan sales all in one shot, and even sitting down to like record a big long uninterrupted video like that these days is hard for me to do because of not being able to like sit and like focus on something for that long. And then Changing Tides came out and I was like, I should really do that. And then I put it off because I feel like it's too long and I'm not going to be able to sit here for that long and record it. Unless it's something that I'm super extremely into, I have a hard time doing it. And now I know it's not because I'm an idiot and not because I don't like what I'm doing. It's because I have ADHD and makes things a lot better. So that kind of, knowing that, I was really worried that I would go to this psychiatrist and then she would come back and be like, you don't have it. And I'm like, shit, then it's kind of just me being a fuck up. And not that I can blame everything on my ADHD, but it contextualizes it a lot more and puts a more positive light on it for me. So now I'm like, there is something in my brain that's pulling me back from things instead of giving 110%. But I still need to put in a lot of effort to get things done. But now it's kind of like more positive where I'm like, okay, I can work through this. But yeah, I try not to like get it. I try not to let it get in the way of work and the content I'm making, and still have fun with what I'm doing. And I still really enjoy what I'm doing, but that's probably why a lot of stuff just kind of like stalled over the last couple of years. And again, with the ego content, that's something that people have been asking for so long, and something that I've been working with people on to like figure out what a narrative. I don't have a show planned. I don't have anything like that, like in the works that I'm holding back from you that's like in pre-production or anything. But that would be the hope. And for the longest time, I just didn't want to say anything about it because I'm like, eventually it'll happen. Eventually it'll happen. Eventually it'll happen. And then COVID happened, and then all these other things happen, and then coffee stuff needs to get done, and I keep just procrastinating it. But I have been working with people to like get sort of an overall, what would this universe look like? What would this world look like? How do all these characters fit in? How do they all interact with each other? What's the A to B story? And it's not going to be I got pitched by YouTube once for like an original show in regards to this, and one of their ideas was, well, what if you did all of the story at like once, and people had an option to like flick between the characters at any time on the fly? And I was like, that sounds awesome on paper, but that's more of like a one video idea kind of thing, like a tiny like bubble of an idea to do that. And then all the story has to happen all at once, and then people are able to like flick between it on the fly. And I was like, that sounds awesome, but that would not tell a good story. Like, there's a reason that you can't do that for like a Hollywood movie doesn't come out on YouTube and then you flick between multiple perspectives, because it becomes gimmicky and it pulls you out of it, and it's more about like seeing things from different perspectives rather than actually telling a good story. And that was what I wanted to do first and foremost. I want just like a really solid story. I don't want a gimmick to like tell that story kind of thing. There's a world where that would work, but for what I wanted was not that. Like a Detroit Become Human thing. No, like you would be watching all the characters on screen, and you would be able to see like, oh, the Schniepelstein perspective. And then you would be able to click a button and it would go to the Marvin perspective and then the other perspective. And like I said, that like everyone at home now is probably going like, whoa, that sounds fucking dope. But that doesn't, I don't think narratively that lends to a, like even stuff like Detroit Become Human kind of starts falling apart. And the story isn't as tight-knit as it could be if it's just one perspective or one like camera angle, or like say like an Avengers movie. If you were able to flick between all the characters, it pulls you out of it, and you don't really get that true emotion out of it, I don't think. Plus then it's like, well, how do you film it then? Is it a POV? Is it first person? Are you just having locked off camera angles? And like people wander in and out of camera angles? It just sounded like an absolute mess. And to do a whole show from that perspective just made absolutely no sense to me. I was like, I just want an A to B story that's really well told if I can do it, and that was it. So that is, if I want to do something narrative driven at some point. I've wanted to do it ever since I did the Anti video back in 2016, so a long time ago. And ever since then, I've wanted to do something bigger with that. But every time I like pitched it or kind of came up with ideas for it, it always felt like something was going to hold it back. Like either the budget would hold it back, the visual effects would hold it back, and it wouldn't look as cool as I wanted to. I wouldn't be able to act well enough. It won't be written well enough. So it's just kind of been like a lot of things where I'm like, if it's not the way I want it to be, then I just don't really want to do it. And I don't want to just put it out there just because people are asking for it. But I still want to do a narrative thing, and I have for a very long time. And if I was to do it, it would be an ego piece. At least that's what's always in the forefront of my brain. Whenever I watch stuff, I'm like, oh, that would be a cool idea. Or like, I could adapt that to like do this. And that's just how my brain is. So it's not that I don't like ego content anymore. It's not that I don't want to do it. And there is other stuff like when I did it, it became a big thing. And then like Mark got back into doing ego content as well. And then people kept comparing them a lot. And people kept asking for more stuff. And then when something would come out, it was kind of disappointing for some. And there was just a lot of like, chatter around it where it kind of took my energy out of it, where it became unfun. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do it if it's not as fun as it used to be. And that's why some of them were like kind of half-assed. And some of them just weren't really like thought out, because it was me doing it for the sake of doing it. But yeah, it would be cool to do something with them. I have a decent idea for it. It's just trying to like figure out how that works. Chase was good though. Yeah, Chase was me putting a lot of effort into it again. And you can tell because it turned out much, much better. And I really like that. But I do have a lot of ideas for other stuff as well. Every time I think of something narrative, I'm like, how do I fit that into the ego project? And then I'm like, well, maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it could be a thing on its own. So who knows what I'll do. Maybe this year, now that I have like ADHD sort of under control and trying to get things together and trying to like organize things a bit better. Also not taking like my YouTube stuff as seriously and being able to like take time off whenever I want. I was going to say something else about it. Now I forget. It is fun though. I am immensely grateful for the amount of people that still draw those characters and still have love for them. Because I know how frustrating that could be. I mean, I'm in the Berserk fandom. I know how much it means to like have something not come out and then be worried that it's never going to come out. And of course that has a much sadder ending, but I know how frustrating it is to be into these characters and be in this community and like really want content out of it and to not get it. And I know how starved everybody is for that content. And it does make me feel a little bad that I haven't had anything for a while, but I'm just hoping that whenever it does show up again, that people are into it. But it really, really, really warms my heart to see. I go to like Twitter every now and then and see people still drawing the characters and still making up their own stories around them and seeing how the characters interact. And it makes me so happy that took on a life of its own beyond me. And I love that. Because so many people identify with those characters, even though there's not a whole lot about them on the channel. It's really, really fun to see that people still like have this whole personality built out for them. New Subnautica 3 coming out? Yeah, I saw chatter around that. That's cool. Hopefully it's better than Below... Wait, Subnautica 3? Are they calling it that? Because technically Below Zero wasn't Subnautica 2. It was like a spin-off. At least that's what they originally intended for it. But hopefully it's better than Below Zero, because that was a bit of a letdown. Will I post any of my GTFO? Nah. It's been too long now. I just like those sessions because I got to play with the guys again. And that was fun. Will I do God of War Ragnarok? Yes. Is this the part of the stream where everyone asks for every single game under the sun and if I'm going to do it? People keep asking what characters are evil and what characters aren't. Would it... I know you're asking for fun, but would it benefit you if I actually just said, yes, this character's evil, this character's not? That would absolutely ruin the fun. Plus, playing with that aspect of it in a narrative is where the juices are. That's where you marinate the meat right down in that sauce. Plot twist, they're all evil. Everyone's an asshole and they all die and then the universe implodes and that's it. And then they never show up ever again. What am I drinking? Water. Oh, that was another thing actually. I went to a nutritionist a while ago. Because I've always kind of, I mean, you guys know, I had a colonoscopy last year to try and figure out my digestive issues. And it's always kind of been a thing. Like, I get stomach acid from the most basic of things. Like, I'll eat something completely normal and then it'll give me acid reflux. And that's always been something that I'm kind of trying to get under control. I figure out what foods kind of upset me and stuff. So I went to a nutritionist and did like food diary, and I'm on all these different types of supplements, like different vitamins that I've been lacking, and just trying to get my health in check. But I'm drinking lots and lots of water. I got this big bad boy that I've been terrible about it today, but every other day this week and the week before that I've been really good. It's 1.5 liters, but she wants me to drink 2.5 liters, so I'm trying to work my way up from this. But I figure if I can drink 1.5 liters was her base to be like, get that in you every day. So I'm drinking this much every day at least. And it honestly has made such a massive difference. I used to wake up with headaches every day. I would just wake up having slept wrong in a bad angle. I would have a headache, tension headache. My back would be sore. I'm like, I guess I'm just getting older. Like, I know I should work out and probably eat a bit better, and that would help. But drinking water has been the biggest factor for me. It makes you piss like a fucking racehorse, but drinking that much water, I don't get headaches anymore. I haven't had a headache in like 2 weeks, I think. Straight fucking water. Yeah. It's been great. I highly recommend it. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we all know we should be eating better. We all know we should be working out. We all know we should be drinking more water. But until you do it, you don't realize how effective it actually is. Because it took me like a good week to get into it. And then after that, it started to really take effect. Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself. I'm 32. Like, I know I'm not old, but it's definitely like 28-ish onwards, definitely 30 onwards is like, you start feeling it. You start like hurting a lot easier. And I'm not saying that as like a joke kind of thing, like, oh, I'm a boomer, but you really do. And when you're that age, it's like, okay, that's the moment where you kind of have to get your shit together. It's like, if I want to be healthy in my 40s and 50s, I can't start later. I need to like get my shit together now. Or some stuff that I'm doing now, the habits that I'm doing. Like, if I'm not working out, then sitting in this chair playing video games all day is going to fuck up my back in the long run. I don't want to be one of those older guys. I want to be like Dick Van Dyke. I saw a clip of him on TikTok recently where he came out during a musical of Mary Poppins, and he's 96 and he was dancing. He like came out, if you told me he was 70, I would have believed you. Somebody, I think the TikTok said he was 93, and then someone in the comments was like, he's actually 96. Let me fact check that. How old is Dick? How old is Dick Van Dyke? 96. And he looks like he just turned 70 last week. And he was dancing, he was like moving his legs around. It was phenomenal. And I was like, man, I mean, I know nothing about Dick Van Dyke other than he did an awful British accent in that movie. But I'm like, yeah, I want to be like one of those guys. Maybe not, I don't aim to get to 96. I mean, hopefully, knock on wood. But I'm like, I just want to be healthy when I'm that age. I think playing video games is already good enough for like dementia and stuff, because that's like problem solving and spatial reasoning and hand-eye coordination, and that kind of like keeps your brain going. But I don't know. I mean, of course, I'm not trying to put a bummer on things, and you don't need to dole out sympathy or anything like that. We've we've had a long time to go past this, but because of what happened to my dad last year, that's like the stuff that you have to start thinking of. Like I think about that and I'm like, okay, if I want to get to a better age and I want to take care of myself and I want to like hold on to my brain and like just be a functioning human being at that age, then I got to take care of myself. So I think now is the time to like do that. I started with a personal trainer because I'm good at training myself. I mean, I've put up pictures before. I got in great shape years ago. And I've always been good at that. And I mean, I have a degree in fitness, so that helps. But I know what I'm doing when I go to the gym, but it's that motivation factor. And Evelyn's been working out with a personal trainer for over a year now. And it's done wonders for her for that habit. So I've been working out with a guy here in Brighton that is really highly rated and he's phenomenal, super fun. Absolutely kicking my ass though, because we're doing like interval training, like HIIT workouts. And normally I go to the gym and I'm like lifting weights and that's my favorite type of workout. But now I'm like, okay, I want to like functional health. I want to like move better. I want to be able to stretch and be flexible and be fit. Because my asthma holds me back as well, which you can hear. But I also want to just, I don't want to get like big. I don't want to get like visually super like fit kind of stuff. I just want to be functionally healthy. And he's been helping me, but my God, his workouts are intense. I went to do his workout and we did a tester and then I performed a lot better than he thought because I have like muscle memory for a lot of the stuff that I used to do, but my fitness level was actually higher than I thought it was. I thought I let myself get out of that a bit too much. And then when we got into like the proper workouts then in the next couple of weeks, my heart rate was all over the place. My heart rate hit 192 at one point. Not for very long, but it hit 192 in the middle of like a cardio movement. And I was like, holy shit, okay, I need to just hold on for a second. That's like, if that sustains for any length of time, that's very dangerous for you. But it's been good to like challenge my body again. But it's been fun. It's good to have a trainer that's like keeping me on schedule. Because there's kind of like a guilt factor to it where I don't want to let him down. And that shouldn't be your motivating factor for working out, but it definitely helps. 96 is dangerous? No. 192 is dangerous. Your max heart rate is supposed to be like anecdotally like 220 minus your age, and that's supposed to be like your max. And the older you get, the lower your max heart rate has to get, because if it gets higher than that, you risk damaging your heart. So I'm 32, so my max heart rate is still pretty high. But if you're like 60 years old, obviously 220 minus 60 is a big difference. But yeah, if you struggle to go to the gym and can afford it, I would suggest a personal trainer. They are very expensive though. Because it is hard to get that motivation to like work out. And we have a ton of great equipment downstairs that I spent a lot of money on, because I was like, I want to have like a decent home gym with like a cable machine and everything that I want to do. But you still have to get in there. And I have a hard time. I get a lot of like seasonal depression, which I am in the wrong country for. But when like winter hits, I like bundle up and I don't get like sad or anything. I just lose all motivation to go into the gym because it's very cold in there. So over winter, it's like, man, I gained weight. I need to get rid of that. Any VR soon? I want to. It's just look, I level with you. I'm too lazy to set it up. I bought a really, really high-tech VR headset that it's like, I'm not going to say how much it was because it was far too expensive for what it is. But it was for like medical training and like 3D modeling, so you could like see stuff, how it works, and it has like so much stuff in it. It has eye tracking in it. An X-Jario? Yes, I bought one of those. Or a Jario or Vario? I can't remember, but it was very expensive. And I was like, this is the highest end piece of VR headset tech you can get at the moment. And it had like stuff in it that tracks your eyes, so it like blurs around it, and it like tracks your hand movements without any controllers and shit like that. But it works with Steam VR. And like, any of you who've tried virtual reality headsets and like you put it on, you can see the pixels, and then you try like a Valve Index and it's like, oh, I can see the pixels less because the resolution's higher. This thing is literally like having a monitor right here. I couldn't see a single pixel on it. The pixels are so dense and so small on it that I couldn't see any of them. It was so clean and clear, to the point where I was able to like open up virtual desktop and actually just browse and like type stuff out, and everything was crystal clear. And I played some games in it. It has super high refresh rates. It was phenomenal. And I haven't recorded anything with it yet. I need to start uploading some videos so I can make my money back on it. But it is just kind of a fucking pain in the ass to set up virtual reality stuff. And then the games are like, they're fun, but they're not like, oh my god, I'm so glad I set this up. There's a couple of them, but like Half-Life Alyx, after that, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing really else that's out that I really want to play. Don't really want to play Beat Saber because it'll get flagged and copyright claimed. But maybe. I saw Hitman VR came out, and I'm kind of like, that's a fun one. I want to try that. But it's like, because I would do my VR here, and then I have to reset up all the lights. I have to like move the camera over. I have to get the microphone ready. I have to calibrate the VR. When you have it on, it's like, oh shit, is it actually recording? Is it frozen? Like, is my mic coming in? All of that stuff where I'm like, I could just sit down and record something else that's just as fun. Oh, Resi 4 VR, yeah. I saw Evelyn play a bit of that, and I played like the beginning of it. That was really fun. But Hitman VR, I love those Hitman videos I did. Remember when I streamed Hitman here? I genuinely think that I made better Hitman videos because I streamed it here with like a live audience than I would have if I did it as a YouTube video on its own. Because I feel like I was trying to make you guys laugh as I was playing it, and I feel like I work much better in that environment. I feel like that's why my live shows were a lot more fun to do than sitting down recording videos. Because I work better that way, like the spontaneity and trying to like get a laugh out of people. And then you just edit around that for YouTube and just take out the best bits, and then you have hilarious jokes. And some of those videos I'm really, really proud of. They're fucking hilarious. I watched one of them again recently with Evelyn. I don't know why it showed up on my feed, and I was like, I like this video. And I watched it back and I was like, these are good jokes. And that doesn't often happen with a lot of my content. But I have been having a lot more fun with my videos recently. Like the Chill as Art Games stuff has been really fun. The Elden Ring series I think is really funny. The episode that went up today, I had a great energy for when I started recording that. And that was, I think there's some good jokes in that one as well. It's just been a good time to make videos, you know? I do want to make more stuff with other people again, though. I feel like I don't do that as much. Like, when I did stuff with Mark, Bob, and Wade over and over again, that was like, people still bring up the prop hunt videos to us. I'm kind of like, maybe we should do like I want to do like a nostalgic prop hunt video, I think. But because we've done it so much and because we've kind of like run through the gamut of everything, it's kind of hard to like do like 10 more videos on it. It would be like a one-off, I think. But I think that would be really fun to do once. And them and the Irish guys are my favorite people to record with, because I feel like the energies are just really good. Mark, Bob, and Wade I've been recording with for so long that we all just get each other and we all improv well off each other. And then the Irish guys, same deal, but because we're all Irish, we share like a same mentality around certain jokes. But again, I just forget. I record all these videos and then it's like a week goes by and I'm like, Jesus, where did that week go? I'm like, okay, next week. And then the week is gone again. And then it's suddenly been like months since I recorded with people. I'm like, fuck, I really should just ask people. And then people have different schedules all over the place. But yeah. What good stuff came out though for 4 people to play? Because there's a lot of things where it's like, yeah, that's fun for like a half hour, but I want like the phasmophobia. I want like the prop hunt. I want the stuff that like sustains for multiple episodes. Gang Beasts, no. Gang Beasts is like so overdone at this point. Deceit, yeah, I did see Deceit was going around in like the Among Us crew, OTV people. Is Deceit good with 4 people though? I'm talking about like good with 4 people, not just like playable with 4 people. Play Party Animals? I'm so excited for that game to come out, but it's not out yet. Oh, Evelyn's back. She was hanging out with friends. Ghostbusters? It's not out yet. Halo Infinite? I doubt I could get Mark, Bob, and Wade to play Halo. Also, I don't think that would be fun to watch. Like, you gotta think about it in terms of entertainment quality as well. Technically, you could play anything. But it needs to have those like Heave Ho is another one of my all-time favorites that we did. I got recommended some of those clips again recently. Because Luna's been uploading them. If anyone doesn't know, by the way, Luna's been uploading stuff to the Clips channel. Shout out Luna. Absolutely killing it. The reason that channel is even thriving at all now, because I did not have the brain capacity for that. But they've been killing it on that front and going back through all of the plethora of videos that I've done and uploading so many awesome clips. But there was a Heave Ho one recently. And I was like, man, and I went back and looked at that, and I watched it on Mark's channel as well because he had the whole thing. And there's one section where they're all on like a ball trying to cross, and then it's just me falling out of the sky going ee, ee, over and over again. And that made me giggle. So I like that stuff, like the sheer dumbassery that we can get up to. I think when the games are too structured, then it ruins that spontaneity of it. Like, I see a lot of people suggest Dying Light 2. I don't think that would be fun to play co-op with them. Because it's a story game. And like, that's why Prop Hunt is so fun, because we make up the narrative. And we make up the jokes. And that's why Heave Ho is fun as well, because, I mean, it's just built for it. But I'll figure out something. Maybe brainstorm some stuff. And then we can do shit together again. Because it was nice when we were doing GTFO weekly, and then like space was happening, and I had some stuff going on as well, and everybody just kind of got busy, so it fell off. But that game is really, really fun. I love how connected we get playing that game. Because there's a lot of people who do that game and co-op it, and a lot of people who are like, they're either like amazing at it, or they're able to like speed through it, or they know everything and they've played it a bunch. But I think Mark, Bob, Wade, and I have such a wonderful chemistry with that game that I feel like it's some of the better... I'm a toot our horn. I'm going to say it's some of the better GTFO content on YouTube because of that balance with everything. Because we're not amazing at it, and we take our time, and then we're methodical about it. And we've played it a bunch, and like, we know that we can get into that game and like run up to things, like smash them in the head, and then run off to the next one and get a room really quickly. But we take our time and we build that tension and we let the game sort of speak for itself the way it's supposed to be. And then we all have our role. Everyone clicks in. Everyone has good ideas when we play it. Everyone gets at least like one good strategy per playthrough, except Wade. And then we all just like coalesce really, really well, and like our brains all connect except Wade, and then we just do the levels really, really well. We all have like our own specific job and we do them really well. Except Wade, who puts his turret in the wrong place. Nah. Wade does that on purpose. I don't know if you guys know this, but most of what happens in YouTube content and streams and video games is done for entertainment. First and foremost. Wade plays that role really well in that group. And I absolutely love him for it. Because I think there was a point where everyone would shit on Wade because of that like character he would play. Not that it's like a character, it's just like he's like the comic foil. And a lot of people used to shit on him like years and years and years ago in the group. And then it kind of it was getting me down, honestly. I can't imagine that it wasn't getting him down. Not that he ever like said anything about it because he was just a trooper and he powered through it. But I feel like a lot of people, we're allowed to do it because we're his friend. But I feel like a lot of people took liberty with that parasocially and thought that they were part of the group and would shit on him as well. But I think he's an absolute tank when it comes to comedy like that. And I think he's brilliant for it. It's a good a mix of personalities, I think. But yeah, I should reach out to them and come up with a game to play. I mean, there's always like the classics you can fall back on, like Uno and stuff, but I want to do like new things, new exciting things. And I haven't uploaded a video with them in it in fucking years, right? What's the last one I uploaded with Mark, Bob, and Wade on my channel? Does anyone know? Because I've played with them and we did the GTFO stuff, but I didn't upload it on my end. Was it GTFO? Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I'll figure out something. But that's on my agenda. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I went on longer than I intended to. But the whole point of the stream in the beginning, and I'm gonna leave you with it, was Mark reached out to me yesterday and asked to help promote In Space, because he put a lot of effort into it and it's a really big deal for his channel. And I know that he would do the same for me. If I had something coming out, he would definitely help me out to promote it as well. So I'm doing my part as a good friend for him to say, go watch In Space with Markiplier. I've watched it. It's phenomenal. It's impressive to see what is capable on someone's YouTube channel. And it might be, it's one of the last YouTube originals to come out because that side of YouTube shut down. And they won't do anymore. So I don't, it might be the last, it might not be the very last, but it's definitely one of the last in that sort of genre. So go watch it. It's great. And again, I'm in it. I'm in the show. I'm a voice, but go try and find me. I actually, technically I do two voices, but it's in the same scene. And a lot of people don't know that. Some people are like, oh, I recognize your voice here, but then they don't realize that I'm the other voice as well. So it's really fun. Go watch it. The mods have been linking it as well, so go check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises and say like I'll be back soon and I'll stream. I don't know. It could be a fucking year again before I stream again, but who knows? The desire is there, but sometimes a lot of other things are going on, and then it's like I don't want to stream now. I recorded all day. So whenever it happens, it happens. Let's not be sad of what might have been. Let's just be happy that it happened. Anyway, yeah. Good night, guys. See you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.